Welcome to the Three Championship Drive podcast on YouTube, hosted by me, Lance Caporossi. Follow me on X at Lance Caporossi, the same way you see it spelled on the screen. Do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, like the video, but more importantly, tell a Pistons fan. So we had the Detroit Pistons City jerseys. They were leaked earlier this week. I got to say, I like them a lot. I've loved the jerseys these past few seasons. They have been awesome, in my opinion. Like, I love the red, white, and blue. I love the tradition that is in the NBA. I think it's great. I'm a huge fan of the teal. You can see it behind me if you're watching on YouTube. But I just love what the Detroit Pistons have done with all of their jerseys these past few seasons. But right now, we're going to put it on the screen. This is the new City jersey. They're paying homage to Chuck Daly. If you can see at the bottom of the screen right there, there's a signature beneath the NBA Nike tag. And then above that, got the bad boy symbols also saying back to back because they were back to back champions. Just an incredible jersey. But Zach, what are your thoughts on that jersey?
I wonder what the record's going to be in it.
I don't know. Depends how many times they played. I think this is just going to be for the in-season tournament, though.
Oh, it's not going to be. Oh, I didn't know that was like a limited thing that they're going to do. Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
that would
do.
make sense. That would make sense.
I mean, I could be wrong about that, but sometimes these new jerseys, I mean, they're only played for a little bit. This isn't going to be a season-long thing. And I'm sure if we looked on the schedule now, we'd probably see something that said, hey, City Edition jersey is going to be played in this one. This game's going to be played in this jersey. They might say that, but I do believe, because I was reading some things online. I can't find the source, but I thought I had read that this is pretty much just going to be a City in-season tournament jersey,
Now,
which
is that just the aways, or do they have homes as well?
this could be this is probably just going to be for home. I'm imagining. Like,
Okay.
I don't think they're going to take these on the road. These will probably just be home jerseys.
Okay. I thought, I mean, I could be wrong. The home jerseys are the darker color and not the whites. I think whites are roads. So I was just curious how, if maybe because it's not bad looking if they came out with like maybe this with a teal background to do like a home and away version. I think that would be actually kind of cool. But if they just have this, then I'm assuming it'll only be for in season.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm hoping maybe we get like if it's not just the in-season tournament, I hope I'm getting like 4 or 5 games with this jersey. I don't know if they have plans to leak any more or if they're going to be playing in any jerseys. Hopefully they bring it back. Maybe like the Saint Celia one. I really like that one. I love the red jerseys, the red alternates they had a couple seasons ago. I don't think they're ever going to bring the teal back, maybe in a few years from now. But this jersey looks pretty cool. It's being dubbed the Cade Cunningham Oklahoma State Cowboys jersey because it looks like his college team jersey a little bit as well. But it is very much paying homage to Chuck Daly and the Bad Boys teams with those colors, with the black and the red, and even the words on it, the Pistons. That is going back to, it's almost identical to what the Bad Boys were using on their jerseys that season when they won the NBA championship. But huge fan of that jersey.
Yeah, it's not bad looking. I would rank this in like my top three as of seeing it right now. I'm not a huge fan of the teal jerseys, of
Okay.
those throwbacks. I mean, they're not bad. I do have a Grant Hill in a teal jersey. But I don't know, man. Um, I guess it's I guess we could look good if we're gonna lose a lot of games,
Yeah,
Maybe
might as well.
we might
Might as
as
well.
well come out in style if we're gonna do it. I mean, hopefully we don't. We're gonna have a positive attitude towards this, but I think the in-season tournament overall is just kind of a joke. I think it was a really hard sell, or a hard selling to do, and I don't think it was worth it because I don't think it's bringing the amount of views the first year they did it like they wanted to.
I mean, it doesn't carry the weight as an NBA championship. We'll probably talk about a little bit more once we get to that part of the season. But I thought the basketball, like I was impressed with some of the basketball. And it is kind of fun to see like a team like Indiana get all the way to the championship game. Everybody knew it was going to be LeBron's to win. They were going to give that to the Lakers the first time. Like they were going to do whatever the NBA was going to do whatever in their power to make sure that happened. But it was cool to see like a team like Indiana because then you start to think like, is this giving us a preview of what the NBA Finals matchup could be like? And Indiana did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, so they were very good. And I don't know, but I am with you. I think it's kind of a waste of time. It'd be kind of fun if they did it like every couple of years, like they do the Olympics. That would be pretty fun. I think that would be a little bit more fun, but I think if there's a way to create some type of incentive, whether it's I mean, I know money's involved or
You
whether
think
they're
that
like
you think if they increase the money, you think it'd be more entertaining? I don't think $1 million is a lot to an NBA player, especially most likely because it's gonna get taxed as well. So it's not like it's adding a whole lot. Do you think if they increased it to maybe 2 mil per, then maybe they'd, they'd play harder for it? I mean,
I just don't know if money is like the most motivating thing for every player. Because like someone like LeBron James, I mean, dude, the dude's almost I think he is a billionaire. Like, dude, he makes more money off the NBA floor than he does on it. So
yeah,
2 million is just that's carry around money for him. I mean, yeah, someone like a Ron Holland or an Asar Thompson, or a Jalen Duren, yeah, dude, $2 million. Yeah, they're gonna be playing for the 2 million.
yeah.
But I just think there has to be some other incentive for the players. Like,
Well, that's what LeBron, they talked to him about it. They said the reason he tried and went as hard as he did, even though I know that you're right and everybody knows that you're right, that it was literally a trophy for the Lakers. Like that's what was going to happen. Um, but I think LeBron came out and said that he's gonna like try his hardest just for the young guys on the roster. Like, and now his son's on the team, so he's taking home 2 mil if he goes and he wins it. I think the money grab is just it's too much. I think they could have did something a little bit different with it. Now, I could be wrong, and this year it could like absolutely take off. I just didn't think the views is where they wanted it.
no, I think it's just I mean, it's cool for the NBA to try something new and trying to increase competition during the season. I mean, it's a long 82 games. If the season was shortened, which I've kind of gone back and forth about through my time as a basketball fan. But if the season was shortened, that means the games would weigh, they'd have that much more importance, just like in the NFL. It's a perfect number of games for a football season because every game means something. You can't take a day off. In the NBA, you can take a couple games off here and there and rest some players and it doesn't really mean anything. But I think maybe, and we'll move on after this, but I think one way to increase competition is maybe you get home court advantage if you regardless of seeding, or maybe you get a guaranteed playoff spot and maybe you're a top 4 team in if you win the in-season tournament and you get home court advantage. That might create a little incentive for
That
some of these
I think
players.
that could be something better to do. Is like maybe the in-season tournament gets an automatic bid, like a wild card or something. Like the two teams that play, if they make it Eastern versus Western Conference, the two teams that play in the in-season tournament, I would just give them automatic bids. I mean, what's I don't think there could be anything wrong with that, but that's adding more games to already a very long season.
It is. It is. So you said you didn't say you wanted to rank the jerseys, but we're going to rank the jerseys that have come out the last few seasons.
Okay.
You said teal would be last, I believe, and you also said the new Bad Boys City Edition jersey would be in your top 3. But I'm going to turn it over to you. Rank these 5 jerseys 1 through 5.
It's honestly, I really do like the new ones, but they're not my number one. The red ones, the fourth one in, that's my
Yeah.
number one, and then probably I'd put the black ones at my two. The new jerseys in the middle as my third, and then the green and then teal last. Even though that's a real close tie for being fifth, or yeah.
So I would go the red City Edition jersey number 1. I'm going teal number 2. I just love that
Ooh,
look. I'm going Saint Celia, which is the green jersey right there, as number 3. And then I'm going because both the black and the new City Edition jersey, they're both paying homage to Chuck Daly, but I like the black ones a lot more. I'm going with the black, then I'm going the new ones we're going to see this year. So that's the way I would rank those 5. I mean,
they're
feel
not
free,
bad. They're
yeah,
not bad.
feel free if you're watching on YouTube to drop a comment and rank those jerseys. And if I like your ranking, maybe I'll put it on the next episode or something, or maybe I'll even pin it if you're watching. All right. So one more thing before we get into, really what this podcast is about. I wanted to talk about the in-season tournament court real quick. Just give me your quick thoughts and then we'll move on. But this is the Detroit Pistons. I personally do not love it.
Lance, did you know they leaked your custom homemade 2K25 court on NBA.com? Did you see that?
Don't know how they got it.
I don't
Don't know
know
how they
how
got
they got a hold of
it.
it, but I think you did a pretty good job, but I just don't think it's the best, Lance.
It's just
It's
it,
not good, bro.
it's better than last year's if this is the jersey, but I mean the court, but overall, I do not like this court design at all. I mean, I think if you have the new jersey, I mean, compared to the Jersey leak is clean. This is just
Oh man,
I don't know. It looks like it was created in 2K. That's
Lance,
just all it is.
there's so much going on. Like, is it mandatory to have the cup in the middle? Because that's massive. I don't know if that's a mandatory thing, but they got to get rid of that. It's
It's
too
just not
much.
good. It's not good. It's just a waste of time. They're gonna only play in like 3 games with this. So I mean, maybe 4. I don't know. It's
Nah,
just
dude. Whatever the minimum is, we're losing just so no one has to see this.
yeah, it's just I'm taking it off the screen. I'm not
I don't like a dark floor, bro. Like I don't. To me it's not attractive at all for a basketball court. Like I think they should have went with instead of like that dark blue or whatever, like maybe a teal or something. Like it's too dark for me.
I just think you should play on your regular court, just modified a little bit. I'm just not a fan of
I want to know who came
that
up with
floor.
this. We need
Yeah,
to have new courts for this tournament so everyone knows. Like, dude, no, you really don't. Just if you want the trophy in it so bad, just have every team instead of having their like center court like home logo, just put the trophy. Like that's the same thing. So I don't know.
I go on.
They're trying too hard with this, man. The in season tournament, they're trying too hard. Like they're trying to change so many things. Like it can just be the tournament and does not have to everything doesn't have to change, like the floors.
Okay, so according to Google, this is the AI overview. I have no idea if this is true or not. It says the NBA in-season courts were designed in collaboration between the NBA teams, facilities, and the league's 3 court manufacturers, Connor, Horner, and Robbins. The corn the courts were designed to help fans easily distinguish between regular season and in-season tournament games. Dude, are you kidding me? I don't know
Yeah, no
how I
shit.
didn't know we were watching an in-season tournament game
I
out the floor.
They're bad, dude. They're bad. And
They are really
you know
bad.
what? At least they tried something.
Yeah,
At
they
least
did
they
this
tried
last year
something. I
too.
don't know what court it was. I watched one game and that floor was so bright. I think it was Oklahoma City, bro.
It's
The
probably
floor was
Indiana.
the floor was so bright. I couldn't watch it anymore. Like I don't want to do this. Maybe I'm picky, maybe I'm obnoxious, maybe I have weird pet peeves, but the floors are not making it any better at all.
Okay, here's the challenge for you. Here's the challenge because you just told me you're going to get 2K. You design a court in 2K and see if you can
Bro,
make a better in-season tournament court, and then send it to me, and I'll put it up on next week's or the next one you're on.
Bro, if I go through this, I'll definitely do
You
that,
won't
and
go
it'll
through with it,
be
but
better than that. That looks like shit. Like we could maybe I can make mine look good enough. It'll be the real thing.
yeah, we'll see. I don't think you'll make it, but well, if you do, it's a
It's
challenge.
my next new job. I'm
Yep,
moving on from podcasting to design in-season basketball tournament courts, and I am colorblind, so this will be awesome.
that would be that'd be great. I hope you actually do it. But let's talk about the expansion draft. The NBA is talking about expansion. Adam Silver, I believe he talked about this at the last like commissioners meeting, whatever this is. And there's a few cities that are looking to have teams. I think Las Vegas and Seattle, those would be the 2 new. I shouldn't say Seattle's a new city. Las Vegas would be, but Seattle would be getting a team again, just like they had in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and whenever they came out. But we're going to be talking about an expansion draft. You get to keep 8 NBA players from the Detroit Pistons. Who are you keeping? What 8 players are you keeping?
You want them all right away?
Yeah, just go ahead. That's fine.
I got Cade, Ivy, Duran, Fontecchio, Asar, Ron Holland, Paul Reed, and Bobby Klintman.
Ooh, okay. So you're you got Bobby Clement on there. You got Simone Fontecchio.
Yeah,
You got Paul Reed, but you're leaving off Isaiah Stewart.
I hate Isaiah Stewart. We're not talking about this. I
Yeah,
don't
but
want to
okay, but
be.
you got to tell me why you're keeping Paul Reed over Isaiah Stewart.
I think he's going to perform better this year than Isaiah Stewart.
Okay. Okay. you do have Isaiah Stewart on a friendly deal for the next few years.
I don't like him. He's gone. I'm in
That's
charge.
the whole reason. Okay, okay, okay.
I don't think I think Paul Reed will provide like more positive than negative than Stewart will this year for the Pistons.
Okay, so tell me if this makes sense. Let's say you don't decide to protect Jaden Ivey or Jalen Duren, just because I was thinking about this today. Even though I do think Duren would most likely be gone if you didn't protect him. But both of these guys are ending their rookie years. Would an expansion team want to tie so much money up into these guys, signing them to new deals? Does that make sense? Like if you were
I
not to
mean,
protect them.
if we're, I didn't know we were gonna get in depth with this. I thought we were just gonna talk about who I want to keep and not talk about the contracts behind it. I mean, obviously, if there's a better money move to get this done, then sure, I'll keep Beef Stew on the roster. But I thought we were just talking about who I like and who I want. That's my list. I
Yeah,
don't like Beef Stew.
We are. I'm not picking apart your list. I'm bringing up a scenario, hypothetical here.
Understand if it
Yeah.
comes down to it, and we would have to do something according to contracts and have to keep one and get rid of the other to save money, then I mean I could have Beef Stew on this list.
Well,
But
I'm
just my
saying
popular pick, these are my guys.
I'm saying if you didn't want to let go of like a Tobias Harris or a Malik Beasley for some reason,
Hmm.
or maybe you decided to keep Marcus, not you, but I'm saying the Pistons. If the Pistons were like, yeah, we're going to throw Marcus Sasser on here as well, but we're not going to protect Jaden Ivey because we feel like the expansion team wouldn't pick him on the final year of his rookie deal, knowing they would have to sign him to a bigger contract, knowing that there's still kind of a mystery about him in the NBA. And same with Dern. I mean, I think Dern would most likely be gone by an expansion team, but I think it's kind of a cool way of looking at it. Like, yeah, they're young players, they are good, but they're about to potentially sign bigger deals that are going to lock them up. And if you're an expansion team, do you want to tie all that money up into players like that, knowing that? I mean, I guess Dern has lived up closer to the hype, but Jaden Ivey is still a little bit much more to be desired about his game.
Well, what's your list? Captain contracts.
I mean, I'm keeping
Beef
most of
Stew,
the young
number
guys.
one. That's what you want.
No, I would say my list would be Cade Cunningham without a doubt, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland. I'm protecting Jalen Duren. I'm protecting Jaden Ivey. I'm protecting Bobby Clem, and that's 6 right there. But then the last 2, I've struggled a little bit. Like, am I throwing a protection at Tobias Harris, and am I throwing a protection at Simone Fontecchio? That would probably be the last 2 that I throw
Yeah,
out on them, just because even though they're both older, they're on I personally think they're on really friendly deals that can be moved, and I'm not really trying to help an expansion team out like that. You can take
yeah,
Marcus Sasser off my hands, that's fine,
yeah.
but that's
That's
my list.
okay. Fair enough. It's quite similar.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it would be stupid of us to come on here and say, "We're gonna get rid of any of the young guys on this team." Like, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, why would I wanna do that? Why would I wanna potentially throw a really good player at an expansion team and lose out on what they could bring to my team? But I
Yeah.
just think with those guys coming off their rookie deals, an expansion team might be like, "Ah, I don't know if I want to invest in those guys long term."
Okay.
That was it. Yeah.
That's fair enough. Question with this, okay?
Okay.
Say they do an expansion team. We're gonna talk like this is NBA 2K, right?
Okay.
And we're the Detroit Pistons, and let's say every single player on every single roster is not available. It's like a real life fantasy draft. Who's your number one pick overall in the NBA right now for the Detroit Pistons?
Are you saying any NBA player?
NBA player. We did like a
Okay.
full on redraft of the entire NBA, and the Pistons got number one. Who are you gonna take?
Oh, I'm taking Victor Wembanyama. Easily number one. There's no doubt about it. Okay, now you can't pick him. Who are you taking number two?
If
Who's
I
your
can't,
first pick? Yeah, you can't
Anthony
take him
Edwards.
off the board. Okay.
Anthony Edwards.
So are we just gonna go down the list of this?
I mean, we are.
Well, I'm saying
I just
Victor.
thought it was. I'm just curious about if you had to start a team, like if you were literally playing a video game and you were drafting a fantasy draft for your team, that I was just curious of who you wanted. I really didn't think you would go Victor, to be honest.
Who'd you think I would go?
Not Victor Wembanyama. I thought it'd be more of a you would reach for a guard of some sort,
No,
not
no,
Victor.
no. He just, dude. He has guard skills and he's huge.
Are
And
you
he
you
averages
wouldn't take Asar?
not with if we're getting pretty deep in the draft before I draft any Detroit Piston. I mean, I would try to get Cade Cunningham to link up with Victor. I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd just be unreal. But yeah, Victor would be number one. And if you were telling me I couldn't take him because for whatever reason in this crazy scenario,
Yeah.
I would probably go Nikola Jokic number one.
Okay.
He would be my guy.
I was just looking like with my choice, like yeah, Nikola would be phenomenal, and obviously is the best basketball player. I was just going age, like in the upside with Anthony Edwards is I'm going to keep this guy for another 10 years, so this is going to be my guy. Like question then, so with Wembanyama, I know we're getting off the Pistons subject, which
That's
honestly is okay right now. With Victor Wembanyama, how soon until it's his NBA, it's his league? It's not right now, and how it's not. You can't say it is.
I
And
would I would
how
say
soon
okay. That he becomes the face and
the
he becomes
face,
the
like
guy.
it's like it's not even an argument. Everyone agrees upon it. Like because right now it's Nicola's.
Yeah, I would probably say in the next 3 years.
Think so?
Yeah, I would say in the next three that it's Victor
Is
Wembanyama's league.
is he going to be able to be that guy with Nicola still here? Or does Nicola have to retire?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like I typically don't think I think it's harder for a big man to become the face of the NBA because they're really not relatable for like the average basketball fan. Like what makes, even though you can't really be LeBron James, it's like, he's a guard. He displays some things that, I could potentially do on a basketball floor. Not saying me, I'm just saying fans watching the game are like, I could dribble like that. I could shoot like that. I could, lower my shoulder and go to the rim. That's why I always thought Luca would be the face of the NBA. I thought because the NBA, you're still trying to make the game global. You put a foreign born player like Luca in there who is a guard, who is more relatable because he's not super athletic. He gets by with his skills. That's why I thought he would be the face of the NBA, just because of those two reasons. That you're trying to expand the game globally, and Luca, basketball wise, is more relatable than someone like an Anthony Edwards, because Anthony Edwards is just this world class athlete. I mean, similar to what LeBron and Michael Jordan were doing, but that was my reason that I thought Luca was going to be there.
I think I don't I don't see Victor really taking off, and this is it's gonna be so obvious and stupid to say, but I gotta say it. Is he won't become the face of the league until he finally wins his first MVP. Which I that maybe be in like 26, 27. Maybe I just think right now it's so hard for him to compete with for an award like that when we have the guys in the league like still as like high up as they are at level of their game, like Nikola Jokic.
Um, I don't know. I mean, he was all defensive first
He was
team his rookie
second.
year.
He should
No,
have won Defensive Player of the Year this year.
yeah, he was
He
second.
sh
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was second in defensive player of the year, but he was all NBA defensive first team his
Yes.
rookie year. Like
Yes, that's crazy.
this dude has the potential to completely rewrite the NBA history book. I mean, if everything goes right and this guy stays healthy,
Yeah,
we might be talking about the greatest player of all time.
it's possible.
Yeah.
That's I think Nikola could go down as one of the greatest of all time, but I just don't think he's gonna expand his career that long because I really don't think he wants to. But if
Mm.
Nikola kept doing what he's doing for another 7 or 8 years, uh, are you kidding me? He averaged a triple double. So I don't know. I love Victor. I really do. He should be in a Pistons uniform, and it's bullshit that we always get the fifth overall pick. But we're not going to sit. And we're not going to talk about the lottery, even though it sucks. But I do see where you're sitting with Wembanyama being the first.
Okay, let me ask you this before we move on. You take Victor Wembanyama number one overall,
Hmm.
but you only get 6 years. Do you still take him number one
Yeah,
overall?
fucking take him over. Yeah, that's fine. That's
Because
fine.
I hate to be the negative guy where it's like, injuries might take over, but we only got a few seasons of Brandon Roy, and Brandon Roy was pretty good in that time. And Brandon Roy looked like a Hall of Famer in, 6, really in 5 years, where it's like, if Victor Wembanyama looks like a Hall of Famer in 6 years, do you take him? Where it's like, you get a 6-year window to win a championship, maybe 2.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if it's not till his fourth, fifth, and sixth year where that starts to take place, I don't care, dude. We
Okay.
won 13 games, Lance. I'll take anything, bro. I'll take a playoff berth. Bro. If we win the in-season tournament, I don't give a fuck. We won the championship. We're the best. I don't care. I'm gonna treat it like that. They better have a parade in Detroit for it because it's the only thing we're gonna see in the next couple of years is an in-season tournament championship.
Okay, final question. Would you go to a Detroit Pistons parade if they won the in-season tournament?
Fuck yeah, we're gonna go. Are you
Okay.
kidding me? There's no shot. We're gonna be there.
They're not gonna have a parade for that, but I hope they do if it does happen.
Dude, it'll just be me and you. I'll stand on the side of the road with a drink. I don't care. We'll wear jerseys.
We
We're
just
the
stand
only
out by,
two.
like, where the players leave the floor,
Yeah,
like,
we got it.
the arena, and
Yeah.
we're just
Just sit
cheering them
outside
on.
the
Yeah.
tunnel. I'll have a sign.
In-season
Like,
tournament champions, baby.
yeah, dude, someone's got to celebrate it. Fuck it. Maybe
Okay.
they'll give me some money.
All right, the last 2 episodes we've talked about Bleacher Report's dream trade targets. Start with Karl Anthony Towns. Brandon
Okay.
Ingram was last week, and then number 3 finishing off the list is Corey Kispert. He shot 38% on 6 attempts per game. 60.5% of his shots were threes. 49.9% of his threes were catch and shoot threes. He had his best season statistically last year with the Washington Wizards, played 80 games, started 22, averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 49% from the field, 38% from 3, got to the line 2 times for an average of 73% from the free throw line, which was down quite a bit from 87 and 85 in his rookie and second year in the NBA. I I think out of the entire list, I really loved Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, despite that people would not agree with me, him a very good 5 in the NBA and a matchup nightmare. I think, and I mean, I love Brandon Ingram. I'm not going to get into that. I think Corey Kispert makes the most sense out of everybody on that list, just because you can never have enough shooting. He fits the timeline with Cade at 25 years old, because that's how old he is right now. I mean, he will be 26 here soon, like in another 100 and something days. But I mean, I like Corey Kispert. I don't think you know a lot about him. Like, he came from Gonzaga, was just outside of the lottery, could do a little bit of everything when he was in college, but now he's just more of a specialist. I really like Corey Kispert for the Detroit Pistons.
So what do we have now? 2 Simone Fontecchios running around? Is that
Pretty
because
much. I
he's
mean,
6'6"? I mean, he's just another tall spot up shooter. Like it's just kind of like I mean, I don't think he probably drives as well as Fontecchio can.
his
But
yeah, there's not much. I mean, like, most of his shots are catch and shoot threes, or he's cutting to the lane, getting the ball. Like, most of his shots, like, I'll share with you right now. 51% of his shots came with 0 dribbles.
okay, that
Yeah.
says a lot. All right, but didn't we just pick up guys for this?
I mean,
Essentially, like Malik Beasley, like I think this is what we've already kind of reached out for. So, I mean, depending what you have to give up for a guy like this, it's just another guy you add on a kind of a short-term deal. So,
here's the thing. You can never have enough shooting. If Cade's the guy, Jaden Ivey's part of your future as well. You want to create as much space as you possibly can, whether Simone Fontecchio's on the floor, Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway, Corey Kispert. You want shooting on the team, and that's what you're getting with a Corey Kispert. I mean, outside of Simone Fontecchio, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., we'll throw Tobias and Isaiah Stewart. That's 6 guys that are going to play this season that shoot threes at a high clip. And I don't know if you remember when Steve was on from the Resball pod, he was talking about Tobias Harris. He only shoots threes at like 28%. I mean, the frequency of shots, like 28% of his shots are from the 3-point line. You want that number to go up. But with a guy like Corey Kispert, that number's already up. Like he just creates so much space. I mean, Kyle Kuzma was averaging 20 something, was it 25 a game last year? Just by being able to create space for him. That's what Corey Kispert gives you.
Yeah, I don't see a world where this is something that would be a bad move. I think right now a lot of these moves, just because we're making them qualify them as good moves, depending on what we have to give up for a shooter like this, I mean, I could be for it. It depends. I mean, it's nice to have multiple shooters just in the lineup, just in case like someone's cold that you can easily do a swap out. This could be the guy to do that. You don't see him play a ton of minutes, like maybe every other game, get like 10 or 12 minutes just if he's hot or not within the game. I don't think a starter by any means. Could be a good role player, but like I said, it just depends what we have to give away to grab this guy.
So Kyle Kuzma averaged 22. I want to make that clear. I made a mistake by saying like 25, but he only started 22 games. Corey Kispert did last year. Like he's used to coming off the bench. He's just going to let that thing go from three. His defensive rating is 122, so he's terrible on that end of the floor. He's not like Simone Fontecchio whatsoever. It's just, when you're the Pistons and you've been so bad, you're not going to stop anybody this year. So why not be like the Indiana Pacers and try to create as much offense as you possibly can? And that's what adding a Corey Kispert does. It just allows you to have more firepower on that side of the ball. And that's something that this team desperately needs. I mean, if I'm looking at this roster, I just want as much space for Cade and Jaden Ivey to thrive in. And that's what a Corey Kispert gives you. I don't think you'd have to give up much. Like if you're telling me I have to throw in Marcus Sasser in a trade for Corey Kispert, I'm making that trade 100 times out of 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, if that's where I was kind of getting at. I just didn't want to say the name. Like if we're getting rid of a Marcus Sasser, but then again, we're still lacking in the guard department, so I don't see them moving on with him unless they're going to give Danish Jenkins a big role, which honestly, I know we're both not against because I think that would be really good for this team because I think he'd be a good leader um for like a second or third unit type deal. But yeah, if we can give away someone that we know is not really progressing with the team right now, like Marcus Sasser for Kispert, that's kind of proved himself when it comes to just his percentages, shooting him within the league, I think that'd be a good idea.
I mean, let's look at Marcus Sasser for a second. He shot 37.5% from three, so 38, just like Corey Kispert is. The difference is Marcus Sasser's 6'2", and Corey Kispert's 6'6", 6'7". Gives you a
Yeah.
little bit more size. Most of his shots are catch and shoot. He knows his role, and he has excelled in that role. Marcus Sasser is still a little bit more to be desired from him, but also he's 6'2". He's a little bit limited offensively. Corey Kispert gives you something you this team desperately needs, and that's just more shooting, more spacing the floor. I'm all for the Corey Kispert trade.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so we have Pistons trivia. Before we go, here's the question I have for you. Who won Sixth Man of the Year of these three Pistons? Vinnie Johnson, Ben Gordon, and Corliss Big Nasty Williamson.
I'm pretty sure it's Ben Gordon.
So, okay. He did win Sixth Man of the Year, but he did not win it in a Pistons uniform. So you can eliminate him. Between Vinnie Johnson and Corliss Williamson, who won a Sixth Man of the Year in a
Well,
Pistons uniform?
it's just that's because I don't think I've watched either of these guys play. I think they're beyond my time. So I'm just gonna run with Vinny Johnson.
Well, he is considered one of the greatest six-man ever. People love him. His nickname is the microwave. Instant offense. The crazy thing about him is he never won Sixth Man of the Year ever in his career. Corliss Williamson won Sixth Man of the Year in, I believe, the 2001 season.
Okay.
You really don't know Big Nasty?
No, I don't remember watching a whole lot back when. I mean, that's
He's part of the
2000. I
going to
was
work.
6 years old, so I don't know, man.
He's part of the going to work squad. Yeah, it was the 01-02 season. This was when I really started watching the Detroit Pistons. This was like the first year I really dived in, and I loved Corliss Williamson. I say this about a lot of Pistons, but Corliss Williamson undersized at 6'7", I thought he was one of the greatest players in the NBA. I loved Big Nasty. I thought it was a great nickname. He could do no wrong. He had the crazy high socks, like up to his knees when he played. Just no outside shot. I don't think he could even shoot outside 15 feet. Just a menace by the post, and was recognized as the sixth man of the year for the Detroit Pistons. Like
Did
he was one of
he
the
was he
best.
on any All NBA and NBA defensive teams?
No, he was never on. He was so his best season came in his third year in the NBA. Played 79, started 75, averaged 17, 6, and 3 with 1 steal per game for the Sacramento Kings. That was his best season. In the year that he won six man, he averaged 13.6 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game off the bench, shooting 51% from the field.
That's crazy. He won the award with that.
I mean, a different time,
Yeah.
a different time for the NBA, but yeah, Big Nasty, he's one of the guys I'm so happy won a championship with the Detroit Pistons. He was part of that going to work squad. He deserved it, just like Clifford Robinson and Chuck Atkins deserved one as well. Unfortunately, they were not on the team, but Big Nasty got his with the Detroit Pistons, and then they ended up getting rid of him sending him to the Philadelphia 76ers. I remember he got the ring when the Pistons played the Philadelphia 76ers. He wasn't there part of the ring ceremony at the
Oh,
beginning of the
okay.
season. So,
That's kind of cool though.
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't mean for this to be a trick question for you. Let me just be honest. That's not what I was trying to
You
do.
need to do more questions within my time frame. Keep it mid 2000s and up.
Yeah, I did mean to do that. And believe me, when I wrote the question down, I thought like that's why I didn't even include the other guy. There was another guy that I could have included was Allen Houston. I thought about throwing him in here, and I'm like, dude, he has no idea
No
who
idea. I'm gonna
208.
have to watch highlight reels of both of these guys.
I mean, yeah, you should go check. I don't know if they have any of Corliss Williamson, but yeah, if you can find some highlights, you should totally watch Corliss Williamson. But thank you guys for listening to the 3 Championship Drive podcast. Do us a favor, go to Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts and hit the follow button. After you hit the follow button, rate with 5 stars and then rate the jerseys we talked about at the beginning of the episode 1 through 5. But more importantly, tell a Pistons fan